some of the toughest parts of the journey, um, into doing real estate full time from being a tech person has been having the courage to take the leaps.
Mm,
Whether that's the leap of the first property you buy, the leap of the first syndication, the leap of whatever, whenever you're doing something first, it's so much harder than doing it again.
mm,
And so at some point, you just need to say, I know as much as I'm going to know. I think this is the right answer in my gut. I got to do it
mm.
because if I don't do it now, I may never do it. And if you don't do it, you're never going to get to where you want to go.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm so excited about our guest today. You guys know I get really, really excited when I get to peek through someone else's lens, when I get to pick their brain about what they do. And so today is no different. This gentleman has two platforms that I'm sure he's going to tell you about. I'm excited with what he does. I'm excited about how he builds. And so I am going to let him tell you everything that he do. And so, Mr. Michael Parks, welcome, sir. How you feeling today?
Excellent. Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So happy to have you here. And like I said, Mr. Michael, I kind of just want to dive in. I want you to tell the people what your main focus is these days. If you want to give us a little bit of an origin story of how you got in real estate and how you got to where you are, we love to hear that. And then tell us what markets you're operating in. So, Mr. Michael, sir, you have the floor.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. So I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I got started in real estate. I guess if you go way back, some short-term rentals with a vacation home, but then I really got into the big business of real estate when I worked at some real estate investment trusts. We had 10 ticker symbols, 30 billion in assets under management. I was a tech guy. I ran the IT department there. And that's when I decided to set out and do my own real estate investing, which I, like many, did on my own, and then became a real estate syndicator, became a real estate fund manager, came up with a really great partner through that process. And he and I, Jeremy Lemire is his name, started the Navigator Wealth Fund. The Navigator Wealth Fund is basically got two platforms in it, as you mentioned. One is a hard money lending platform, which is great for people who are looking for steady income, and the other is a development platform where we're doing ground up development in Boston, and that's great for people who are looking for higher levels of returns, and a little bit higher risk in development too than lending. So that's what we're focused on.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. So you said, you went from investors, syndication. Now, you're managing a fund. So obviously, you've worked your way through real estate, you've seen different things, you've had to use different strategies. And so I want to pick your brain a little bit about strategies. I would love to know some business strategies that you use. I also would love to know, Mr. Michael, what some personal strategies that you may use. I know some people do meditation in the morning, some people go hiking. So Are there core business strategies and core personal strategies that you use to find success?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah. So I would say, from a personal strategy standpoint, is I'm a highly organized list maker.
Mm, mm,
And when you got multiple platforms running and you got personal stuff, I have two children, and you got wife stuff, and like I have lists for everything, and then I check in regularly on goals, and I set goals for the quarterly goals. I call them
yeah.
rocks. Monthly,
Mm-hmm.
break it down to monthly, weekly, and then align my lists around that of what I'm going to get done, and so I would say for me that's how I am able to do two things: one, stay efficient, stay on track, and then two, it also helps with being able to say, okay, I did what I needed to do. Now I can actually go do personal things and not feel guilty I'm not doing the other things, right? So creates some balance for me. So that's from a personal strategy. From a business strategy standpoint, for me, it's really about sticking to my core values, right? And if I stick to my core values, I find that I work with the right people and I get the right results. And even when things get tough or they go well, it sticking to the core values always makes good sense, and you come out okay. So those core values are things around transparent communications,
Mm.
integrity, value creation. That's really things that those are the people I want to work for and work with, and and I think projecting those, you attract this like-minded people.
So, Michael, I cannot agree more. First, I'm going to talk about your personal strategy. I love how you said you make a list. I heard, someone say, you plan for the things you care about. And so when you talk about your list, it makes total sense that you make a list because you care, right? You care and you make lists to make sure that's your roadmap, that's your blueprint, that's what keeps you organized. And then I love from a business strategy how you said transparency and integrity. You use those two words and how you want to be around people who are transparent and who work from integrity. And I say this maybe once a podcast. I say, one of my mentors told me, when you know who you are, you know what to do. And so when you have core values, business values, core personal values, when you put those values in place, in whatever situation you're in, you know how to operate and know how to move forward. And so I love some of those values that you brought out. I think they're very, very good. Now, I know as you built, I know names, or maybe they have been. So let me not assume. Let me just ask a question. As you've been building, have you first faced any adversity? Has there been things that you had to overcome? Sometimes deal goes sideways. Sometimes you have to pivot fast. Have you faced anything like that as you was building, as you work?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people found themselves, if they got into deals in, let's say, late 21, early 22, right before inflation went way up, interest rates went way up. That was a hard thing for a lot of people to predict and put a lot of strain on various projects. And I would say I've got had a project that certainly felt that. And I fell back to what are my core values: transparency and communication, and finding your way forward to get the best outcome you can, and leveraging the relationships that I've built over the years. And those relationships go, can really make a big difference. And I would say one of them is with the bank. The fact that the bank,
Mhm.
I've got a lot of trust with the bank. They've come through a lot because they trust me. And if I had
Yeah.
treated them differently, I don't know that they would have. So, I I come back to a lot of the same things that I talked about as a way to get through those challenges.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah. No, appreciate that. Absolutely. I think that what makes all the difference in the world as you deal with difficult times, again, the relationships, being able to fall back on your system, fall back on your core, fall back on your standards. As you face difficulties, that's the foundation, right? And it makes a easier fall and a less impactful higher fall when you got those core values that kind of cushion you when you fall, right? Because the more you distance yourself from your core values, when you fall, that fall could be hard. That fall can
Yeah.
be really, really hard, and so yeah, I appreciate you telling us about, just the difficulties of adversity and overcoming them. Let me ask you, Mr. Michael, what's the next real goal for you and your partner? Like, what are you looking to solve and scale next?
Yeah, well, we want to continue to grow these two platforms. We're not looking to do something different, and I didn't mention it, but we previously did self-storage and we did multifamily.
Mm,
And as much as we liked those for many years, they just got a bit overheated, and they may come back around, and we may do them in the future. But right now, we love the risk-adjusted returns of the hard money lending,
mm,
and so we've got more loans than we can fund right now.
mm,
And so we're looking for investors that want the steady income checks that lending often provides, the lower risk profile. And so we want to scale that up and be able to do more of the lending. We have more lending than we can do, so we want to do more of that.
yeah, yeah.
And then on the development side, we've got we call it our secret sauce of how to do development in Boston. We're able to get properties that are pre-entitlement. So maybe it's zoned for a two-family property. We get them under agreement, and then we get them entitled to
Mm,
be able to do something like a 14-unit condo building.
mhm,
Um, and when you do that, you create a lot of value. So uh, and then we build them out and we sell them. So we've got a good pipeline of that. I would say we're not doing as many as we would like to be doing, so we want to do more of them. And
yeah,
that's really where our focus is. We tried not to get distracted and uh, get too many different things going at once, but those are the two things that we think make a lot of sense.
gotcha. Nope. Absolutely understand, love it. I know you have mentioned earlier about leveraging your relationships. You even talked about with your bank. I know you have a partner. And so I really want to talk about relationship building. How do you go about it? Has it really impacted you? You kind of, said a little bit that it has, but tell me a little bit more about how the impact of building relationships, how has it affected you in business?
You know, I would say it's always so I was a consultant for many years, a technology consultant,
Mm,
and a lot of how I operate in business, I learned from that. I worked at Accenture. For any tech guys, they probably know it's one of the largest consulting companies in the world. But I started out of college, which was some years ago. I won't tell you how many years ago, but it was a much smaller place.
yeah.
But that's where I learned a lot of my core values and relationship building. And it's really about, I think, a genuine curiosity about the other person's perspective, right? Understanding where they're coming from, why they think the way they think. And, for me, nobody, for the most part, nobody's really crazy. Like they just have a different perspective. They have different information, they have different experiences. And
Mm,
until you can really understand where they're coming from and how they got their perspective, which may differ from yours, um, you're probably not going to make much progress. And it's amazing once somebody feels like they've been heard and understood, they're much
mm,
more open to having a constructive dialogue about where you go forward. And you learn a lot.
mm,
People often ask me, like, where do you learn? What book do you read? Yeah, I read books, but you know what? I learn mostly from the people I work with. And it's
Mhm.
because I try to understand why they think the way they think, and what do they know, and what do they know I don't know. And that really, I find a lot of personal growth through those relationships and genuine curiosity.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Ooh, Mr. Michael, sir, you just said a mouthful because I normally don't do like New Year resolutions. I normally don't do that. However, a thought always seems to hit me kind of like before the new year starts. And I have said in 2026, I'm gonna be more curious. That's literally the word that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna be more curious. And I naturally, I love to learn about people. I naturally try to build relationships, but I am starting to be curious about everything. Curious, why am I angry? Why am I frustrated? Why, curious about even when it comes to business, like, why is this not going well? Why do I do the things that I do? And so when you say curious, I think that is so good. And I am naturally getting more curious about myself. But I know you mentioned like being curious about other people, and you were speaking my language because I say everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And the more you get to know about their story, the more, like you said, you get to understand how why they process the way they do, why, their strategy is their strategy. And so you hit on something that's very, very key to me is being curious, finding out about other people, learning why they do certain things. Like you said, I don't think anybody's crazy. Like there's a reason why people think the way they do. And I just find that fascinating. And I'm so glad that you brought that out while talking about relationship.
Yeah, and being curious about yourself. I like that. That's sometimes you got to take inventory. What why am I feeling this way? Just like you said. Take inventory. What is it?
Mm-hmm. So you
Is
you
that the
talked
right
about
reaction? Ask
you you,
yourself.
you just hit the literally took it out of my brain. You mentioned about being married earlier, talking about your wife. My wife, we've been married for 3 years, and I would get so angry. And then she say, Quincy, anger is a secondary emotion. What is it that you really feeling? Be like, ooh, that's okay. And I have really been on this journey to understand and be curious about myself. Am I upset because the way they said or what they said? Like, what is it really? Does it make me feel whatever? Now I know we're not turning into this a therapy session, but I think, when it comes to business, curiosity can be a superpower. If you're curious about why things are going the way they are, why you approach things the way you do, I really believe it will bring clarity. And so, again, I appreciate you saying that, especially when it comes to relationship building. Mr. Mike, I want to ask you this, sir. Like, is there any other thing that you want to say? Maybe encouragement, um, education, motivation, or even about, what you do. Is there any other final words you think the audience could benefit from?
Well, I would say some of the toughest parts of the journey, um, into doing real estate full time from being a tech person has been having the courage to take the leaps.
Mm,
Whether that's the leap of the first property you buy, the leap of the first syndication, the leap of whatever, whenever you're doing something first, it's so much harder than doing it again.
mm,
And so at some point, you just need to say, I know as much as I'm going to know. I think this is the right answer in my gut. I got to do it.
mm,
Because if I don't do it now, I may never do it. And if you don't do it, you're never going to get to where you want to go. So it's the leaps that are tough, and you got to psych yourself up a little bit and just say, if not now, when? So,
mm.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I think you're exactly right. And I think the longer it takes for you to leap, the more distance it is that you feel like you have to leap, right? Like,
Mm,
if it's there now, you take the leap, it doesn't feel as big. But the longer you go, the more that distance grow. And now you're looking at what they call it. It's not a canvas. It's a, just like I can't think of the word, but it's like you have to jump further, right? And you're looking at
yes.
it like, I don't know now, and then another year passed and that thing got bigger and bigger. And so I think taking a leap, I think that's a really, really good analogy. And I think that's really, really something for people to think about. So
It
definitely
get
thank you for sharing.
it gets bigger in your own mind too.
Uh-uh.
Sometimes, right? It's sometimes like it doesn't seem like a big deal, and then you like question it and you get deeper and deeper, and all of a sudden it feels like, oh, what I thought was an easy thing feels like a big, big decision now. You got to come
Mhm.
back to, yeah, but you know, that's all the things that could go wrong. It doesn't mean they all will go wrong. So if you think it's right, you got to do it.
Yeah. Also read a study, they say the things that we're scared about, there is a high 90. I want to say it's like 93% of the things, the fears that we have never really come true. Like they're really like stuck in our head. So the more we think about it, it's like 93% actually doesn't come true.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, hey, I think with that knowing right there, I think, hey, today may be time to take the leap. And so you heard it from Mr. Michael. I'ma say it that don't be scared to take the leap. Um, Mr. Mike, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much, man. Listen, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, collaborate with you, learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Best way to reach me is through our website, navwf.com. So it stands for Navigator Wealth Fund,
Gotcha.
navwf.com. And on there, you can book a call with me. You can book a call with my partner, Jeremy. We love to talk to people who are interested in real estate, whether you are interested in being an investor, which of course, that's what we do is bring investors into these great deals we have in Boston, but also just people who want to know about real estate. We don't have an education platform, but we do plenty of informal mentoring, just providing information and helping people out because we want to pay it forward. People helped us
Mm,
out. We are glad to pay it forward and help others. So best way to reach me is through the website and schedule a call, and we'll talk one-on-one.
I love it. NAVWSrealestate.com.
WF is in Frank.
Oh, F,
Navigator
sorry.
Wealth Fund. Yes.
Yeah,
NAVWF.com.
gotcha.
Yep.
WF.com. Mr. Michael, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your story. Definitely thank you for your perspective. I think, you have added value that just may shift the right mindset that needs to be shifted. And so thank you so much for being here today. This was a privilege.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all heard Mr. Michael. You can't tell me you didn't find the value. I mean, he just added, so much value. Stuff for you to think about. And I keep telling you, we're going to continue to bring up amazing people. And so I want to make sure you are subscribed. That way you do not miss out on the conversations. So Mr. Michael, I thank you again. And listen to everyone else. We will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.